everybody. Welcome back to Real Talk. I am Phillip Carter. I'm here with my co-host Alex Brown, and I am here with local business mogul Wanda Childs, with whom I used to go to church with way back in the day at First Baptist Church of North Brentwood.
That's right.
And God has just blessed both of our ministries and businesses. It's been amazing. And you have an amazing story. And first of all, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely.
You are the owner of Blessed 24/7 Shop. You also own a Printing Express shop, which is different from Blessed 24/7.
Yes.
And then you have the Blessed 24/7 Foundation, which is a mentoring program.
Exactly.
But before we get into all that, tell us how you got started. I remember you at First Baptist, and I remember when you branched off, but give us your story.
Oh, wow. Okay, the story goes deep. I got fired from my daytime job.
Wow.
God gave me the message, Blessed 24/7, 22 years ago. But I needed to leave my job in order to do what God said. He said take my ministry full time. Well, I had to stop there because, first of all, I didn't have a ministry because I was still going to happy hour. And I'm being real.
Right.
We're talking 22 years ago.
Right.
I'm still going to happy hour, and God says take your ministry to the next level. So I had to line up with His word, line up what He said, and once I did, I was almost there, but I couldn't quit. And so while I wrestled with how do I quit a job where I've been for 20-something years, I'm single, mortgage, teenage son at the time, how do you quit? And I wrestled, and I made excuses, and I complained, and while I was doing all that, God loved me enough to have me fired. And when I got fired, I was literally pushed into my purpose. I was forced to do the things that God had called me to do, and who knew that I could do it so well.
Look at God.
Wow, and you have, your business has really, really grown. I remember vaguely coming to your house, seeing your son, and you telling me about you getting fired, and it's all coming back to me now, and about, the struggle of starting a business. But talk about the struggle of starting a business, especially in this area. What were some of your biggest struggles, and then what was the turning point in terms of you becoming successful or growing as a business?
The biggest struggle was believing in myself. The second biggest struggle was believing that financially the dream would take care of the business.
Absolutely.
And so you can believe in yourself, but if the money is not there, then how are you going to pay the bills? You have a teenage son who wants to go to college, all that comes along with it. So faith, I believed in it, but financially I didn't. And I believed at some point it would. But when God said quit now, I said, well, I'm not there financially. So why don't we wait, God, until I'm financially set?
Right.
And then I'll do what you call me to do.
That makes human sense, right.
Exactly. And someone said, so you told God to show you the money. And I backed up and said, oh, my God, I guess I did. And they said, sweetheart, that's not a faith walk. If you ask God to show you the money, then that's not a faith walk.
Like Thomas.
And so now I don't say show me the money. I just say, what do you want me to do next? So the struggle was believing in myself. And then overcoming the depression that came along with the request. So when God said leave, people say, well, why were you depressed? I don't know. I know now, but I didn't know then. So I can answer that now. I was depressed because God had called me to do something. And once I acknowledged that it was Him, I said no.
Wow.
And I was just thinking when you said that, He loved you enough to fire you. Like, how did that feel? That's still blowing my mind.
Well,
He loved me enough to
fire me.
I say
Thank
that
you, God.
because while I had the job, I was depressed.
Okay.
And wanting to do what God had called me to do, start Blessed 24/7 as a retail gift shop, as a business, wanting to do that, but afraid. And so the depression was, I don't want to go to the job anymore. I don't want to drive to the job anymore. I'm not happy at the job anymore. And now I looked God in the face and said no. Who wouldn't be depressed? Now, as long as I played like I didn't know that was God, and I just said, oh my God, the devil is busy trying to get me fired from my job. I could play with that and get away with it for a while. But the moment that I knew it was God calling me out, and I still said no, then the depression hit. Because now I'm afraid, because I know I just said no to God.
Wow.
I didn't say no to the devil, I said no to God. So when I said He loved me enough to fire me, people don't believe this. The day I got fired, the depression was released.
Wow, is that right?
Yeah.
Let's get into some of the nuts and bolts. I mean, how'd you get started? Did you just take out a lease on a building space, or?
Well, no, I actually had the retail store for 9 years, but I've been in business 22.
Okay.
So in the beginning, I was at the yard sale. I was at the Baptist convention.
Right.
I was on the side of 95.
You did what you needed to do.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was selling it, getting the word out. I was traveling up and down the East Coast. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so first God gave me the message and made me live it. Mm-hmm. So how are you going to tell others that you're blessed 24/7? And then challenge me when a man asked me, well, my wife has cancer. Mm-hmm. So you expect me to think I'm still blessed 24/7? So God had to challenge me in areas of having to fight for things and having to struggle and then winning. Mm-hmm. And then seeing that even in the struggle, even in the depression, I was still blessed. Because in the depression, it sent me into the bottom of the pit. But in the bottom of the pit, I was alone.
You preaching.
But I was alone enough to hear God. And I was alone enough that when God climbed down in the pit, he didn't reach in and pull me out. He climbed down in the pit to tell me all that I had done wrong. Mm.
You know what you're saying
to me?
You're saying to me that a lot of our struggle is really in the foundational belief. And if we can get over the foundational belief and just walk in it, of course we're going to struggle. Yeah. But knowing that we're going to make it will cause us to forge ahead. Exactly. And eventually we want to find success. Success will find us.
Exactly.
That's kind of what I hear you saying. And you know, there are a lot of young African American women out here that are trying to start their own businesses online, or you know, trying to find a place. Give them some advice today, something that they can lean on.
I would say if you're interested in starting a business, well, can I say this? Take my seminar?
Sure. Go on. Talk about your seminar.
Yes. I have the Blessed 24/7 Foundation, which is my mentoring program. And my mentoring program teaches you how to start a business from ground zero. Mm-hmm. That's how I had to start. No mentors, no advice, just get in there and make the mistakes. Right. And so I teach how to start a business from ground zero for those who are interested. And believe it or not, those who have started still come to me because they don't understand why they've done the things that they've done. Right. I have an EIN number, or I have a tax exempt. I have all these things, but I don't understand why. Mm-hmm. Because you can have them and misuse them. Right. And so I do those seminars, those workshops. The Blessed 24/7 Foundation is a nonprofit. This came after I got fired. Mm-hmm. Blessings afterwards.
So where can we sign up?
Anyone can just call, email me, go online. The seminars are done by request. You just call and tell me the day that you want your seminar to be on, and if my calendar is clear, it's a one-on-one session. I do group sessions, and just when I thought I wasn't good enough to elevate the seminar sessions, I've been doing it for years. I get a call, and WSSC, our local water company, hired me to come teach it at their headquarters.
That's a blessing.
For a room that they had reserved for 30 people.
Wow, that's a blessing. You also have a Printing Express, and that's different from the Blessed 24/7 gift shop, right?
Absolutely. Before Blessed 24/7, I'm a custom printer. Okay. I do custom printed merchandise. Mm-hmm. I print on blank merchandise. I literally have 80,000 different products for you to choose from, like pens, keychains, hats, water bottles, embroidery, screen printing. I've done that for 23 years. My smallest project was one T-shirt for a guy who just wanted twinkles on a shirt for his daughter. And my largest project was 116,000 pieces for the FBI. And they were miniature flashlight keychains that said FBIjobs.org.
Well, you are
currently, I just got blessed, and God be hearing me cry out. I just got blessed with a big job from my local water company, and I'm printing 15,000 water bottles, 15,000 tote bags.
Aren't you glad God loved you enough?
I'm inspired. I am really inspired.
These aren't every day.
Right. I know, but I'm inspired because I'm in business. I've been in business for a long time, and you know it gets rough. Yeah. But hearing stories like yours, it inspires me to move on and to forge ahead. And I hope somebody else would be inspired by the testimony that you've heard today from Sister Wanda Childs. Yes. Talk about your son. I remember him when he was a little guy, and now he's grown up to be a fine young man. He's all over the world. You was telling me before we got on the broadcast today.
He's awesome. He is, I brought him, now let me tell you this, most people don't know this. I started going to North Brentwood First Baptist because of my son.
Wow.
We were watching TV on church every Sunday. And my son, while I was sitting in the middle of the floor eating a bowl of cereal, was 5 years old. He pointed to the TV and said, "Mom, how come you don't take me there?"
Is that right?
And I looked at him while eating. I said, "Church?" Like it was weird.
Right.
I kid you not. And I took him to North Brentwood First Baptist, and we were there for 12 years. My son got baptized. He made me sit up front. He was like, "Mom, I'm getting baptized. I'm getting saved today, so we're going to sit up front so I don't have father work."
And a child shall lead
He was
him.
7 years old. He got his mama in church. And I have not left going to church since.
So where you going to church at now?
I'm at Reed Temple.
Okay, yeah, Pastor Lee P. Washington.
Yes. Yep,
Let me tell you
Reed
something.
Temple.
It has been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you.
I wish you so much success. I want to ask you one more question. Well, actually, two more questions. If you can answer this in 30 seconds. What's your future plans, like 5 years from now?
5 years
Where do you
from
see
now,
yourself?
I would love to have Blessed 24/7, the gift shop, as a franchise,
Okay.
where there are stores located all over the United States and at some point out of the country as well. Most people don't know this. I own the name Blessed 24/7 across the country.
That's awesome.
I trademarked it, so
And
no one else can use it, and I use it in the form of gifts.
Amen.
As a gift shop.
That's awesome. Sports fan?
Not really. I like boxing, but
Okay.
I haven't been following it lately.
Okay, who was your favorite boxer, let's say 20 years ago? Who were you
20
really
years
into?
ago, oh God, I can't even think of one.
Don't date yourself.
But they were, I know, because it really is gonna. It really is.
He's setting you up.
No, I'm not setting you up.
It really was gonna date myself.
Oh, good. All I just wanted to know is that you weren't a Redskin fan. I mean, that's really all I wanted to
You
know.
have
No, we
Blessed
don't have
24/7 Redskin.
Well, I mean,
color
you still
jersey.
Come on, give me some right there.
You have to make money.
I do.
You know what I'm saying? I understand
I
that.
do.
You know, look,
But
when
she
in
doesn't have to
Rome,
make bad choices.
when in Rome, do as the Romans.
I don't have to make bad
You have to make
choices.
bad choice. Thank you
That's
so
good.
much for being on our show.
I
We wish you the
appreciate
best.
For more information on how to become a guest on Real Talk with Phillip Carter, or for general inquiries, please email us at realtalkwithphillipcarter@yahoo.com. Tune in next Monday for another edition of Real Talk with Phillip Carter.